What's up? It's Martin here. Today I'm going to share with you my top 5 productivity apps that I use for university this year. If you find this video helpful, make sure to drop a like and comment down below if you think I missed any good ones, if you agree with my list, or if you're going to try out any of these apps for yourself. So with that, let's begin. Starting our list at number 5, we have the Kindle app. In the past couple years, I've been trying to read more, and this is one of the apps that helped me do that. The benefits of reading can be a video topic on its own, but to sum it up, reading is a great way to see different perspectives that you wouldn't normally see in your regular day-to-day schooling, or in whatever university major that you're in. Each book can be seen as a piece of the author's life experience, and I believe it's a great way to expand your horizons and realize how little that you know in the vast world that we live in. As you can see, you can browse a library of many books and choose what you would like to read. The only reason this app isn't higher on the list is because I prefer to use the Kindle itself instead of the app. This is because the screen is bigger than the phone screen, and I believe that it feels better on my eyes when I want to read for longer periods of time. So if you're interested in picking one up for yourself, an affiliate link will be in the description down below, in which if you make a purchase, I'll get a small piece of that transaction with no additional cost to you. So that's number 5, the Kindle app. Moving along to number 4, I have Forest. Forest is an app that acts as a Pomodoro timer and helps to track your productivity. The Pomodoro technique is a study strategy in which you typically give 25 minutes of full focus followed by a short 5-minute break as a cycle. And after 3 or 4 cycles of that, you would take a longer break that's usually around 15 to 20 minutes. This is a good way to pace yourself during your studies to keep your mind fresher for longer. And I believe that this app is a good way to facilitate that. Its design is kind of cute too, because look at those trees. So that's a nice touch. This is one of my favorite study techniques, and this app would be higher on the list if I didn't prefer to use a timer that would be on the web or on my PC. This is because as a mobile app, I believe that this can pose a potential temptation or distraction because you risk the chance of browsing a little bit on your phone before you start the timer on the app. So that's why this app sits at number 4 on the list. Moving to the top 3, we're going to start with Notion. Notion is a very versatile app for productivity that I don't even know where to start when listing its functions. For some, starting to use Notion can be a little bit intimidating because it's so customizable that it can seem kind of daunting to use at its fullest potential from the get-go. Currently, I fall into this category because I haven't been using the app for a very long time. That being said, they do have very easy to use templates for beginners that cover a variety of functions such as to-do lists, calendars, class notes, and reading lists, just to name a few. You can also share your workspaces with your friends or colleagues, so this can work very well in group projects. I realized how functional Notion can be, and I believe that with time, this app will climb the ranks as I use it more and more, since I really haven't scratched the surface of using it to its fullest potential. So with that in mind, Notion sits comfortably at number 3 on the list. Now for my personal top 2 apps for productivity, these are the apps that I used most often during the school year. So stepping up to number 2, we have OneNote. You probably saw this one coming because I have a Microsoft Surface, and that's the device that I use to make all of my notes during my lectures. OneNote is a really easy app to use to take your notes during your classes, especially if you use the Microsoft Surface with the Surface Pen. This makes it very convenient for class so that you can organize, write, highlight, move around your notes, or even import your professor's slides directly into the OneNote app. This definitely beats out downloading the PowerPoint and typing your notes into that little notes section at the bottom of each slide. I'd rather be able to freely draw and annotate around the slides because I'm a visual learner and annotating diagrams is the way to go for me. And I know quite a handful of students that prefer that as well. Making notes with OneNote has been very convenient for me because it's so easy to organize and I don't have to lug around binders of notes anymore. So that makes both organization and carrying around my bag easier. Well, that sounds great and all, but there's still one app that beats it out on this list in my eyes, and that app is Anki. I'm sure most of you guys have heard of this one before, but Anki is an app in which you can make flashcards that uses a spaced repetition algorithm to help you memorize things easier. And how it does this? Well, I'll show you a picture and then I'll explain it. So here's the forgetting curve, and basically it's showing the amount of time it would take for you to normally forget something. To make your studies more efficient, the goal here is to recall the information just as you're about to forget it. And the more times that you do this, the longer it will take for you to forget the information each time that it's recalled. So basically the goal of Anki is to use an algorithm to refresh your memory just as it believes that you are about to forget it. Basically, Anki is trying to take the hassle out of trying to time the forgetting curve and it can really help to boost your grades as long as you trust its algorithm, which it has worked for me so far this year. The tricky part of this app is actually making good flashcards, which I will actually make a tutorial and tips video in the future about how to make better flashcards. Because personally, I've made my fair share of mistakes making really bad flashcards, and hopefully I'll bring this video to you guys in the near future. Okay, so I realized this isn't how a top 5 list works, but as I was editing this video, I realized that I missed one app that I actually use quite a lot, but it always runs in the background, so I didn't really remember it at the time of this recording. So I'm going to say that this app fits anywhere on the list, and in fact I think that this is one of the most useful apps, and that is Stay Focused. Stay Focused is an app that allows you to set timers on each of your applications on your phone, as well as block any websites so that you don't waste your time going crazy browsing the internet. Normally, one would just think to themselves, can't you just turn off the restrictions whenever you want? But there's a strict mode on this app that basically says that you can't modify any of the settings that you put on it until a certain date. So this app is highly functional in increasing your productivity by preventing you from reaching the sites that usually drain most of your time away. So that's the honorable mention, or basically the app that I forgot. But with that, that concludes my top 5 productivity apps that I use for university. In the end, these apps are just tools to facilitate your productivity, so don't rely on them to fix problems such as procrastinating, because by no means will these apps guarantee your academic success. Keep this in mind when approaching these apps because there's no app, hack, or shortcut that can help you achieve the marks that you want if you're not willing to put in the work for it. Of course, there's always the argument of working smart versus working hard, which is definitely relevant, but just know that there's no hack that can get you instantly there, because you still have to do things like study and review information every so often. So that's about it for this video. Make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe with post notifications on so you can see more content like this. And yeah, that's about it for me, so see ya.